Ena, he morena, atamari e tato katoa. We have a full house this morning. It's a full moon of Hoterene. Everyone's a little bit sicky, maui. I have Kaimatangi and Uenuku with me, the little brothers. So we just wanted to mihi morena kia tato katoa. Big full moon out in the sky. You might not sleep much. We had a big weekend. Rako nui tomorrow and rako matohi the next day. Of course, school holidays. Everyone's home. Everyone's home and enjoying ourselves. And as we get into the end of the week on Oike Thursday and Takiro, I think it's the other way around. I'm a bit distracted. The energy will go down. But at the moment, get out and about, do things. I was at the Y262 hui on the weekend. Hey, kōrero ana hau. On the weekend presenting about mātauranga Māori and why it's so important, especially with our mahi online, to ensure that it's not a free-for-all, that it's protected, respected, ultimately under tikanga Māori. So that was a great wānanga hui. And I really have to also mention that it's one of the longest claims, Waitangi Tribunal claims around our flora and fauna and our right to ensure the mana of our taonga are protected, particularly around the constant moves of others and the government to try and own them. So, yeah, that even happens internationally. We're seeing it all the time, our culture being admired by others and at the same time thinking that individuals and corporations might have a right to exploit it by thinking they own our Māori names, our Māori images, but not so. So, yeah, here we are. Little kaimatahi, morena. Uenuku, mihi atu. So, yeah, we're all squashed in the bed last night and the house is still sleeping. I'm off to vitamin C with my mum. What's everyone doing for the week? We're just basically chilling and enjoying each other as whānau. So to everyone, really make the most of the next few days with this big moon energy, no matter what you're up to. Don't forget to order your maramataka. You should all be doing your planning. We've got a whole lot of new products out and I'll be announcing that probably next week or as soon as they come in. Yeah, someone's saying, you haven't answered my message. You know what? I don't have to answer anyone's messages. I really don't. I'm very busy and I think people have to consider, look, I got these kids, 4 other kids, whole house, lots of things to do, and I try my very best, whānau, but sometimes I can't keep up with everyone's demands, and it is very demanding. I get messages all the time from people, hey, churi. So for someone the other day, an anthropology student messaged me and said, I'm studying, I want to interview you, I want to know more about Mātauranga Māori, I want to know this, I want to know that, I want this, I want this, I want that. I'm like, yaha kia te tikanga o tera. Constantly people assuming that they have a right to ask and receive a immediate request. Back in the good old days, you know, when we would all go and visit our uncles and aunties and ask something of them, we might bake a cake and take it before we even put the request on the table. We might drive them to like 100 meetings before we even thought to ask them for some information. We might do a round of 100 dishes at the marae before we even assumed to ask for any kōrero about our own whakairo that actually belong to us. But we understand that there's an absolute process when we're requesting certain things. And I want us to all keep that in mind. A lot of our tohunga are really exhausted during this time of the year because we're expected to do so much. It's winter time. We're telling everyone to relax and stay home and plan and and all of these kinds of things. And And yet we're out there in the rain and the cold and the long nights stargazing and looking and explaining and doing so much, and everyone else is having a good time. So there you go, whānau. I talked on the weekend about when there are rules around the acquisition of knowledge, and there's an etiquette around the request for time from people, and etiquette around the request for information. And we have to stop thinking that we can just ask something and receive something immediately. I want to know, and I want to know now. I want to know now. And I blame that a lot on this online way of acquiring things, as thinking that we can just get something immediately for nothing, without the reciprocity, without the exchange. So that's really important. That's really important, to respect all of our tohunga out there doing the mahi. So of course I absolutely stand by our maramataka. It's the most famous maramataka throughout Aotearoa. You can order one. I've given so much kōrero to everyone over the years, shared it right throughout the whole country, when at a time when a lot of people, this information was lost from us, particularly when we moved out of the gardens, when we moved away from the gardens, we moved away from our maramataka. So that's me. I said on the weekend too at the wānanga, it was really interesting. I said, sometimes I don't get everything right, but when I'm with everyone else, I do get it right. And that's really important. With the collective, we get things right. Now, all the alarms are going off and all the kids are piki. I'm out of here. www.maramataka.co.nz. Ngā mihi te ori o maramataka.